Radio Raheem here on the planet Earth with none other than the alien, Bernard Hopkins. This was a fun press conference to cover. We heard some analogies in there. David versus Goliath.
That was good.
That was a good one, right?
Eric Gomez stepped his game up.
He did.
I must say, Golden Boy partner, I'm impressed. You know, it might be a bonus somewhere down the line, but he got to do it more than once. I think he had a great moment at that time. But it was good, though. That was good. That was a good analysis of having fun, but making reality of history.
Well, you, in your storied career, have been on the David and Goliath side on the come up and being a champion, having defended this title as middleweight champion more than any other fighter in history, 20 times. A fantasy matchup. They like fantasy football. They said this is the kind of fight that you would take. We're going to come at this a little differently. If it was just you on the other side of that podium and David Lemieux wasn't there, how would you fight Triple G, Gennady Golovkin?
Well, I would try to get hit less more than get hit, and I would try to make a strategy in camp amongst the sparring partners where I have to emulate and imitate him, and they'd be easy to find, especially in Philadelphia, because there's a lot of bangers in Philadelphia, and we made a history, for good or bad, and the history of boxing in Philadelphia is that we love to bang in the ring, well, gym, and really be done when it's time to really blossom in our professional career. You know, Radio Raheem, I would fight Triple G, a strategic, smart way of making him uncomfortable by letting him see different things or styles and knowing that he's going to have his moments. There's no perfect fight. We want to fight perfect fights. I've mentioned earlier today that David Lemieux will have to fight that perfect fight, but at least you reach for perfect to get good or great or near perfect. You have to be able to gamble with Triple G at the time where it's going to be more a bonus or a plus to you than a negative. There are risks when you're fighting a puncher. There are risks when you're fighting a young Mike Tyson. There was a risk when you was fighting a young puncher of any era. There's a huge risk in fighting a guy that can get you out, Triple G, with one punch. And when you have that from both sides, you have explosion that is not win, it's who get there first at the right accurate time to be able to make the other, Lemieux or Triple G, say, wait a minute, I gotta find a new style at this moment. In the ring, for the first time, Radio Raheem, they have to make it difficult, not easy, and Lemieux has to make it uncomfortable for Triple G to get reckless, to rely on his power, to rely on his knockout ratio, to rely on I'm going to hit him with this one punch, and that one punch never come. If he somehow can walk through those landmines and not get blown up, that was pretty good.
We're doing good today.
I'm on the roll. Then I'll see him winning this fight, but paying a price like we do and being that winner. But it's going to be a hard-fought win for both guys, whether it's 5 rounds, whether it's 6 rounds, whether it's 12 rounds, which I don't see. If I was a guy that was betting on this and it had the odds whether it go 12, 8, or whatever rounds, I definitely clean my pockets on it won't go 12. I'll be totally shocked here on this camera on Radio Raheem show if it go 12 rounds. If it even get minute close to 12 rounds as far as championship rounds, I'll be really shocked. Just by their mentality. I don't think they can help themselves.
You know, this matchup and the matchup on the other side, which has been mandated, the winner of each fighting each other, to simply say, that kind of seems like a semifinal playoffs in boxing, which we don't get very often. But you having been the middleweight reigning champion, the guy that is the standard bearer in this division, of these 4 fighters that remain in this somewhat semifinals, who do you think has the best shot of filling your very big shoes?
One is Lemieux has a chance to beat Triple G, and Triple G has a chance to beat Lemieux. Just say, for good Radio Raheem interview conversation, it will be a situation where the winner of those two major matches, November 21st, October 17th, the winner fight the winner, the loser fight the loser. That's my philosophy of making this thing be one of those semi-tournaments. 4 guys emerging. I see Canelo. I see Lemieux upsetting, just like it was done 14 plus years ago in Madison Square Garden. Ironically, the same place, October 17th, middleweight unification is going to go down. Lemieux upsets Triple G. He don't do a rematch, which they be hollering for that they want to do, in spite of preparing everybody that we have a 4-way result to this sort of tournament. And we will see Canelo and Lemieux for a super fight of 2016 to go into the year. How great would that be? And that's realistically can happen. I don't have control of the outcome, but I have a control of my opinion. And each of these fights, Lemieux, Triple G, October 17th, Canelo, Cotto, November 23rd, have an opportunity to now show who's the best. And everybody wins. You win, Reddit Raheem. Golden Boy win because we set out to do what we say we're going to do, and we're doing it. TV wins because they get the show and get great ratings for it. The fans win because they work hard, they save their money, they buy pay-per-view, they get what they wanted, they get what they paid for, and some. It's a win-win for everybody.
And lastly, Andre Berto is fighting Floyd Mayweather because Floyd Mayweather can pick his opponents. Do you criticize Floyd for taking that fight? And if not, why? If so, is his claim on TBE legit, taking a fight like this at 49, at number 49?
I think Floyd Mayweather at 37, maybe 38 years old, earned the right to go out, if this is his last one, the way he wants to go out. He's earned it, beat everybody in front of him. He still has an O that most fighters don't have, that been in the business as long as he's been in the business, with that 0 still there. When you look at record-breaking numbers, record-breaking paydays, no matter if you on that side or this side, you can't be a hater on that view of saying that whoever he fights, because he has that right and that luxury to do that, that will be somebody not giving the man his his respectful respect in his business. So I think that is a matchup that people expect Floyd to win. I believe he should win. But Berto is not a guy that had any easy fights as he turned professional, at least the last 10. He's coming to fight, and he's coming to win and maybe try to get the upset. When I look at fights of this magnitude, when people is giving one guy no chance, most of the time it's legit. But I remind people, and I have nothing to do with this card with Mayweather and Berto, as y'all know. But I remind people, before they quick to bet something that they're going to regret, your mortgage, your personal hard-earned money, that you got to go back to Tyson and Buster Douglas. It ain't actually what Berto is expecting to do or not do. It's what Mayweather do or don't do. Mayweather is now in position to be his own worst if he's not taking Berto seriously. The burden is not on Berto. He has nothing to lose. But this fight in a different way makes Floyd Mayweather if he's not careful, if he's not respectful of who he's fighting, more vulnerable. So as they say, the defense attorney don't have the burden of proof. It's the DA. So look at the DA as being Berto. And look at Mayweather being the defense of defending his legacy and his title. And it's
Radio Raheem with the alien, Bernard Hopkins. Always a pleasure. The wisdom is appreciated. Middleweight champion, defended 20 times more than any other boxer in history. Radio Raheem, Bernard Hopkins.
And on that note, I'll say objection.